the 19th Annual Staff Faculty Talent Show, featuring Mr. McCullum, Mrs. Johnson, Mr. Aubry, Dr. Breen, Mr. Mackley, Mrs. Drenchko, Dr. Burns, Mr. Zirkle, Mr. Middleton, Mrs. Middleton, Mr. Mars, Mr. Weaver, Mr. Forey, Miss Brown, Mr. Eister, Mrs. Hickey, Mr. Allison Drony, Mr. Carney, Mr. Lentz, Mrs. Kaloweski, Mr. Shaberly, Miss Newcomb, Dr. Ward, Mrs. Moore, Mrs. Rose, Mrs. Davenport, Mrs. Knizik, Mrs. DeRazio, Mrs. Kraus, Mrs. Kling, and Mr. Sight, featuring many, many more. And now your host for the 19th Annual Staff Faculty Talent Show, Mr. Weichert. Hello everyone, and we're glad that you're getting to watch the 19th Annual Faculty Staff Talent Show here at Northeastern High School. It's hard to believe that this is the 19th of these talent shows that we have done as a faculty staff here at Northeastern. They started all the way back in 2003 when Dr. Burns had the idea that as a staff we should get together and do this talent show halfway through the year, at the end of one semester and the beginning of another semester, to kind of give everyone a breather. We worked hard in the fall as far as students working in all their classes and starting a new semester. It's kind of like a little kind of a relaxation, kind of a time to just kind of sit back a little bit and enjoy staff and faculty and our school family in a way that we normally don't when we're in the classroom with our teachers and around the other staff at the school. And so it's been a long-standing tradition here, and we're excited to be able to bring the talent show to you, albeit in a little bit of a different format than we're used to doing it. We also thought it might be fun, after all of these years, to kind of reminisce a little bit and take you guys back and show you a few acts going all the way back to the very fourth talent show that we've ever done, all the way back to 2006. You're gonna see staff that you recognize, you're gonna see staff that you don't recognize, you're gonna see staff that you recognize that you might not have known worked in our building, but you might have seen that staff person in another building. For example, Mr. Allison Drony started his work here at Northeastern all the way back in that very first school year that we had the talent show back in the 2002-2003 school year. So you're going to see him later on in the show. Things like that. So you'll keep your eyes open for people that you know but didn't maybe know worked at the high school on the staff there before. We're going to go ahead and start things with one of those flashback little numbers. It was tradition in the early years to start the show off with the faculty staff jazz band. And so that isn't something that we've done in a while, but it was in the early years something that we did every single year. So we're going to start the show off with the way we started the show back all those many years ago in 2006, and with a little number you might have heard of. I'll go ahead and we'll get right to watching that act right now.
I don't know what's up with this yellow thing. All right, before we get started, two special thanks. One, everybody turns around, Mr. Weichert up in the booth for all his hard work. I love you, Dave. I do, I love you. And the biggest thanks, really, goes to Miss Burns, because without her, none of this is possible. She puts in a lot of hard work. I love you too. All right, for our first act, we have the faculty band, and they're playing Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy and Sing Sing Sing. They are made up of Mrs. Berkheimer, Miss Barlow, Mr. Aubry, Mr. Mackley, Mrs. Breen, Mrs. Drenchko, Mr. McCollum, Mrs. Gould, Mrs. Bond, Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. B. Kling, Mrs. McBride again, Mr. McLaughlin, Mr. Ruth, and Mr. Bug.
That was awesome. Who knew Mr. McCollum played the string bass, right? That's very cool. You saw a younger Mrs. Johnson in the video. She's participated in a lot of the talent shows that we've done, playing the cello. And in our next act, we have Mrs. Johnson playing the cello extremely recently in a local coffee shop. Check it out. Another tradition we had in the early years of the talent show was a lip-syncing duet with Dr. Burns and Mr. Zirkle. So without further ado, we'll do another flashback to 2006 for one of their famous lip-sync duets.
Shut up, just shut up, shut up, 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 shut up, shut up, just shut up, shut up. We try to take it slow, but we're still losing control, and we try to make it work, but it's time of the worst, and I'm crazy. It's gonna be a lady. It's gonna go with crazy. Girl, me and you was just fine, you know. Walks on the beach and stuff, you know. Things that lovers say and do. I love you, boo. I love you too. Miss you a lot. I miss you even more. That's why we was on tour. But then something got out of hand. You start yelling when I was boyfriend, even though I had legitimate reason. You know I have to make a dividend. How can you just so private eyes, girl? That's why you don't believe my lies and quit the second. Shut up, just shut up, shut up, shut up, just shut up, shut up. We try to take it slow, but we're still losing control. Trying to get you to listen. Humanity to the has become our tradition. You yell, I yell, everybody yells. That niggas fuck. So to the tip, shut up, just shut up, shut up, shut up, just shut up, shut up. We try to take it slow, but we're still losing control, and we're trying to make it work, but it's times of the worst, and I'm crazy. Crazy folks wanna be a lady. Think I'm going crazy. Shut up, just shut up, shut up, 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 shut up, just shut up, shut up. Girl, I love it that. Why did you start trying? I never been a quitter, but I do deserve better. Believe me, I will do well. Let's fix the bed, start this new plan. Why? 'Cause it's the same old routine, and then next week I hear that scream. Girl, I know you're tired of the thing to say. Right, 'cause I heard that LinkedIn is just yesterday. That was a different thing. That was a different thing. That was a different thing. It was the same thing. Same excuses, boy, you useless. Shut up, just shut up, shut up, 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 shut up, just shut up, shut up. Stop the talking, baby. I start walking, baby. 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 Just walking, baby. What happened, baby? Is that all there is? Is that all there is?
Burns and Zirkle's lip sync duet, always a crowd favorite for all those years of the talent show. Lip syncing is still something that staff like to do for the talent show. Coming up right now, Mr. and Mrs. Middleton singing Aaron Burr Sir, or I should say lip syncing Aaron Burr Sir, from the critically acclaimed musical Hamilton.
New York City.
Pardon me, are you Aaron Burr, sir?
That depends. Who's asking?
Oh, well, sure. Sir, I'm Alexander Hamilton. I'm at your service, sir. I have been looking for you.
I'm getting nervous.
Sir, I heard your name at Princeton. I was seeking an accelerated course of study. When I got sort of out of sorts with a buddy of yours, I may have punched him. It's a blur. Sir, he handles the financials.
You punched the bursar.
Yes, I wanted to do what you did, graduate in 2 and join the revolution. He looked at me like I was stupid. I'm not stupid. So how'd you do it? How'd you graduate so fast?
It was my parents' dying wish before they passed.
You're an orphan. Of course, I'm an orphan. God, I wish there was a war, then we could prove that we're worth more than anyone bargained for.
Can I buy you a drink?
That would be nice.
While we're talking, let me offer you some free advice. Talk less.
What?
Smile more.
Huh.
Don't let them know what you're against or what you're for.
You can't be serious.
You wanna get ahead.
Yes.
Fools who run their mouths off wind up dead.
Yo, what time is it?
Musical song has always been a big part of the faculty staff talent shows, and this next flashback is no different. This is maybe one of the biggest ones that we've done collectively, although there have been a lot of big ones through the years. This is another 2006 act featuring Mrs. Torres, Mr. Mars, Mrs. Davies-Crone, Mrs. Drenchko, Mr. Forey, and Mr. Weaver, and behind them in support, nearly the entire faculty and staff. And so this was going to be one that's really fun to, when the camera zooms in, to see how everybody looks pretty different all those many years ago. So enjoy this song, the staff singing A Better Man.
Our next act, probably the biggest act we've ever had, involving the most staff, as far as I know. I don't know much, but that's a whole nother story. You don't have to agree that quickly. All right, what we got? We have Mrs. Drenchko, Miss Torres, Mrs. Davies-Crone. They love her. Mr. Forey, Mr. Mars, and Mr. Weaver doing the chorus to Kev Moe's A Better Man. However, in backups, we have almost the entire Northeastern High School faculty. Please feel free to join in on the chorus.
That was something else. Our next act is someone who's no stranger to the Northeastern stage. In fact, he's been the musical director here for the last 35 years. Mr. Mars is always known to sing at least one number in the talent show, and we'll send it on to him for him to give you a word about the Northeastern stage.
So everybody knows that I've been the musical director here for a long time. For the last 35 years, I have directed the musical here and taught chemistry and biology. And this year, of course, we don't get to have a musical. So I thought what I would do is just, do a little bit of reminiscing maybe and see if I can help you get a little bit of the spirit in. So I'm going to walk around and talk about a few things, and then I might sing. So, of course, here's the stage where the musicals take place. It's awfully quiet today. Normally this time of year, we'd be in full rehearsal. There'd be set built. For those of you who've been in a show before, this is a sad time. Instead of looking out and seeing an audience, it's empty. But the spirit is still here. I love this place. It has been awesome to me, and I have enjoyed all of the time that we have spent together here. If you've been in a show, you know the excitement that comes from being backstage. The dressing rooms that are here with past show posters and all. The back room, there sits the fridge. It's empty now, but usually it's full with all kinds of fun stuff. And the back room, what an amazing place. Filled with memorabilia from shows past and all of the memories that we have put together. And everything that is here. It's quite a place with a lot of neat stuff. This is one of my favorites. This is the library panel that I painted for Beauty and the Beast when my daughter was Belle. One of my favorite things of all time. And of course, I'm a pretty stingy old guy. I use 2x4s until they can't be used again. And we've got a lot of interesting things back here. This panel has been sitting here since I arrived here. There are names on that panel from people who graduated from this school almost 50 years ago. Pretty cool stuff, pretty cool stuff. And other things, you know, the tools and all the neat stuff that's back here. For some people, this is a place where you did a lot of work and we did stuff together and had a lot of great times and stuff. Those times will be back, okay? Don't give up hope on that. There are more good times to be had. And as I make my way around here, there's some backdrops hanging there. They're pretty cool. So I make my way around this place. A lot of memories come back to me from many years. None better than our time together last February when Mamma Mia took place here on this stage. It was a very special time, and I hope you remember it as well as I. If that is my last production here, it sure was a good one. And thank you for being a part of that. And in Mamma Mia is a song. And that song is a very true statement of my feelings. And I think I might just sing that for you. So the song is called Thank You for the Music. And it sums up my memories and my feelings pretty well. And not that, well, let's just do it. I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. I've been so lucky. I am the guy who does the shows. I want to sing it out to everybody. What a joy, what a life, what a chance. Thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Thank you.
Mr. Mars, thank you so much for all you have done, for all you have given the Northeastern community, not just in dramatics and performing arts, but in everything that you have done in so many areas, seen and unseen. We will surely miss you for a long time after you're gone. We love you, Mr. Mars. Coming up next, a word from another faculty member here at Northeastern.
Another turning point, fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. Something unpredictable, in the end that's right. I hope you had the time of your life. Take the grab some steel frames in your mind. Hang them on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. for what it's worth, it was worth all the while. Something unpredictable, but in the end just right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Hope you had the time of your life.
Bonjour Bobcats, this is Mrs. Hickey here. I'm just wanting to wish all of you a healthy, safe, and happy 2021, bonne année 2021, and a great second semester. Work hard, do your best.
Thank you for that word, Mrs. Hickey. And on behalf of all of the staff here at Northeastern High School, we wish you all a great 2021 and a great spring semester as we close out the second half of the school year. Moving on, we have another flashback to do, and this one, when I saw it, I really took me back because I did not remember what this person looked like before seeing this clip the other day. I earlier today went down and said, was this the first time you'd ever had this done? Is this the first time you looked this way? Because we are very used to this person looking this way now. And he said, yes, it was. We're talking about Mr. Aubry. And what he had done, what you're about to see in this clip, was for charity. A lot of money was raised. And because that money was raised, Mr. Aubry agreed to have all of his hair shaved off his head. And that shaving was done by a principal that used to work in this building and is still around today. In fact, he is going to be retiring at the end of the school year. A lot of you know who I'm talking about already. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Have your attention for a second. Samantha Hughes and Amy Boblitz to the office, please. Immediately. Samantha Hughes, Amy Boblitz. Office. Mr. Aubry is also, he's agreed with the cost for cancer, and after raising his amount of money, which was $1,000, he has attained his goal. I was hoping for more money, because he was going to do eyebrows, beard, but we'll settle for the hair. Aubry!
Staff at Northeastern have many talents, and one of those talents is storytelling. You can probably think of a lot of teachers that you have had that just love to tell stories. This person is no different. In fact, this person was featured telling a story at the York Story Slam. The person that's about to tell you their story from the York Story Slam is Mr. Mark Lentz.
The joy in life comes from our interaction with new experiences. Chris McCandless, a.k.a. Alexander Supertramp, he's the main character in the book Into the Wild, which, by the way, is my favorite book of all time. So, should be mandatory reading, but that's my opinion. So my story into the wild, which I have many of them, even a Mount Marcy story, I heard that earlier. My son and I climbed to the top of that in the middle of winter and dug a snow cave and slept in it overnight and then climbed back down. But that's another story. My story started with a student, actually, whose parents are here tonight. He was this string bean kid in 8th grade. When the wind blew, he fell down because he was that skinny. And he was squirrely. To me, he was just like the perfect kind of kid because he's a little bit nuts. And he picked up a mountain biking book I had laying on my desk. And he took it with him and looked through it. Comes in and goes, "Hey, I can mountain bike." I'm like, "Oh, yeah? Yeah, it looks easy. I'll take you." So I took him mountain biking for his first time in 8th grade up at Rocky Ridge. He found out it is definitely rocky. The first 30 minutes, he was on the ground like 7 times. I stopped counting because I felt bad. But he came back for more. And the biking bug bit him. We ended up turning into biking buddies. We rode together in the summers every week. When we would have 2-hour delays or snow cancellation days, we would meet at Rocky Ridge and ride there before they closed the park. It was just standard. It's what we did. One of us got the idea, I don't know which one it was, that we were going to ride from his house beside Rudy Park down the rail trail the whole way to the end in Maryland and back. Could have been either one of us that came up with a dumb idea like that. It was a new experience. It was February. The northern extension of the rail trail wasn't even complete yet. Matter of fact, the part that runs beside the Cadorus Creek there still had, I call them baby head rocks on them, like this big. But we rode across them, and we hooked up with the completed part in New York City, and we were heading south. Our water froze in the top of the water bottles. We didn't have any food with us because who would bring that? I mean, geez. But we're riding, we're having a good time. We get into Maryland. Well, it's downhill then. So we go downhill to the very end. We're starving. We had money, no food with us. We find a Dunkin' Donuts. We went in and gorged ourselves. We came out, we had food babies. But we got back on the bike. Now, riding long distances, it's difficult for a young rider. You know, it takes a special kind of mindset to do that. And my riding buddy, Nate, he was starting to waver a little bit. But I'm thinking to myself, we're on a rail trail. It's mostly flat. Remember I said, once you enter Maryland, to the end, it's downhill? Now it was all uphill. So we're riding back through, going towards New Freedom. And we passed this lady. She was on a 2-wheeled wagon. And I looked and looked. It appeared to me that the wagon was being pulled by a goat. But I didn't say anything. Nate comes up beside me. I look out and go, "Was that lady in a wagon?" He goes, "Yep." I go, "Was it being pulled by a goat?" He says, "That or a dog." Then he reminded me that he was starting to get tired, not feeling good. You never look at someone and say to him, "Dude, you're starting to bonk. You're not going to make it." That was the last thing I was going to tell him, the truth. I said, "You're fine. Let's just get up here to New Freedom." So we get to New Freedom. He's like, "I can't make it." I'm like, "Oh, you're okay. Come on. Let's just get to Glen Rock." So we get to Glen Rock. And he's dying. And I knew we were in trouble, but I had a stop in mind. I said, "Oh, you can make it. Let's just get to Hanover Junction. And then we'll call the SAG wagon to come pick us up," which is Nate's mom, who's here tonight. Not the first time she ever picked us up, but at any rate. So we get to Hanover Junction. Now, why Hanover Junction? I did mention it was February, right? Hanover Junction has heated bathrooms. That's why I wanted to get to Hanover Junction. So we get to Hanover Junction. Now, Nate's a junior in high school. I'm a teacher in the school district. We go into the bathroom. Not the best moment, but it was that or freeze. Call Nate's mom. Hey, we're at Hanover Junction. Come pick us up. Knock on the bathroom door, because that's where we're at. Since then, Nate has graduated. He went to North Carolina near Asheville to college. I miss him dearly. I look forward to the times when he comes home. And believe it or not, we've been talking about Thanksgiving and attempting this again.
This next act will prove that these two teachers can do something that some of you thought for some reason they couldn't do.
We told you we could swim.
You know, we have a really talented staff here at Northeastern High School, from singing to comedy to all kinds of other talents, some known, some unknown. Here's one that I'm not sure this person has ever shown this talent to the student body before. And of course, I'm talking about Dr. Burns and her skills as a ventriloquist.
Hello, I'm Dr. Burns, and this is my puppet, Brighton. And we're going to do our ventriloquist act for you today. But, safety first. Say hello, Brighton.
Hello.
How are you today, Brighton?
Good.
Do you want to help me tell some jokes?
Yes.
Here we go. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Because the chicken behind it didn't know how to properly social distance.
Two grandmothers were bragging about their precious darlings. And the one says,
"Mine are so good at social distancing, they never call me."
Did you hear the joke about the germ?
Never mind. I don't want to spread it around.
What type of jokes are allowed during quarantine?
Inside jokes.
What did the dog say after being quarantined with his family for 10 months?
See, this is why I chew the furniture.
Back in my day, you would cough to cover up a fart.
Now with COVID, you would fart to cover up a cough.
Thanks for coming to our show.
We mentioned earlier that some staff are celebrating their same year as staff members as is old the talent show, meaning their first year on staff was the first year we started doing the talent shows back in 2003, the 2002-2003 school year. Mr. Allison Drony was one of those. I was one of those new staff members back in the 02-03 school year. And this next person also started that school year, and you will normally find her down in the library with her massive library full of jokes.
Hello there. I know you've all heard of dad jokes, but have you heard of librarian laughs? Well, check these out. What is the tallest building in the world? The library, because of all its stories. Why did the cardiologist recommend going to the library? He heard it was good for circulation. Why can't you go into the world's biggest library? It's always overbooked. Why did the librarian fall down? She was in the non-friction section. How do libraries keep the books warm? They give them book jackets. What advice do you get from the library? Believe in your shelf. What did the library tell the person who checked out 100 books? Don't overdo it. Where does the library keep the books about conspiracies? Right behind you. A book fell on the librarian's head. She only had her shelf to blame. What do you call a nervous javelin thrower? Shakespeare. What do you call a South American librarian who is always in a hurry? Urgentina. What do you call a book that's about the brain? A mind reader. What section of the library can you get bitten by a snake? The history section. What has a spine and no bones? A book! On a scale of 1 to 10, how obsessed with Harry Potter are you? 9 3/4. A man walks into the library and asks for a book on the law of probability. The librarian says, it might be over there. A man walks into the library and asks a book about coincidences. The library said, this one just arrived. A man goes into the library and asks for a book on cliffhangers. The librarian says, thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Skits have always been a part of our faculty staff talent show here at Northeastern, and I think it's fitting that because our show this year is in this format, that we have a skit that's also in this format, and it might be a scenario that a lot of our students are familiar with, and also a lot of our teachers.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Good.
I'm on mute now.
Okay. All right, everybody's coming in. Good morning.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in
All right, well, good morning. Welcome to class. Jen, can you turn your
my Google Meet?
Jen, can you turn your microphone off, please?
My bed. Stop.
Can you turn your microphone off, please? Thank you. So it looks like everybody's here. But it looks like we're missing a couple people. Has anybody heard from Matthew or Gregory? Matthew Sipe or Gregory Zirkle? No? Okay. Well, I'm gonna open up the chat here so that we can see it. No, Lauren, the assignment's gonna be due tomorrow. We can't move the assignment, okay? We're gonna leave it where it is.
I think Gregory Zirkle's behind you, peeking out your door.
Gregory, can you please get into your classroom and get on the computer? Thank you. Okay, so welcome. Today what we're going to do is we're going to go over an evolution scavenger hunt, and you're going to kind of work on it independently. And on the Google, it's in your Schoology page, and it's a Google document that you're going to fill out your answers directly into the Google document so that that you can just submit then via Schoology.
So we can work with how many people?
You're working by yourself, Laura, because we're cyber. So you're going to work by yourself, okay?
On Google Classroom, right?
Not Google Classroom, right? We're on Schoology. So not Google Classroom.
You used that in 8th grade.
Yeah, you did. But well, we're in high school now. So yep, you're gonna use Schoology now. But that's a good question, Laura. Thanks for clarifying.
Mm-hmm.
No, Lauren, we're not gonna move the quiz. Jennifer, can you please mute yourself? Can you mute yourself? You're in class, please. Can you? Yeah, I know it's crazy. Can you focus, please? It should be at the bottom. Jessica, can you please turn your camera on, please?
Do I have to?
Yes, please. It's very important that I be able to see you during class. Can you please turn your camera on? Oh, are you wearing pajamas, Jess?
Well, you should be happy I'm here. I woke up specifically to come to your class. So you should just be happy I'm here.
That's so gracious of you. I really do appreciate you coming. But we don't wear pajamas to school, so we don't wear pajamas on cyber either. So can you please make sure that you're dressed appropriately next time? Thank you. Thank you. Emily, can you take your Emily, can you take your sunglasses off, please? Emily, oh my God, Emily, is somebody have Emily's phone number? Oh, okay. Emily, are you okay? You can't do that. It scare me. I need to make sure all of my students are safe. Okay. So does anybody have any questions about the evolution scavenger hunt that we're going to be doing in class today? Okay, so
can you repeat everything you just said?
Oh, I'm sorry, Laura and then Lauren. What did you say, Laura?
Laura or Lauren?
Laura.
Okay, Laura, go ahead.
I'm sorry, when you're both talking, I can't understand you. Can you say it one more time? Lauren Ward, what are you saying?
Can you just repeat the whole thing one more time?
Yes. So you're going to do the evolution scavenger hunt, and you're going to open it in Schoology. It's going to take you to a Google Doc. You're going to complete the Google Doc, and you're going to submit it via Schoology so that I can grade it. It is due by midnight tonight. Okay, Christy, can you please pay attention to what we're doing, please?
You said we could work with partners, right?
No partners. It's an independent assignment. Okay. Okay. No, Jess, we're not changing the start time. I know you need your sleep, dear, but you're gonna have to go to bed early or get off Twitter. Okay. Don't TikTok all night. Right. Put your phone away. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All right. So we're finished. Can you please log off of the Google Meet? Work on your scavenger hunt. I'll see you tomorrow again at this time for our Google Meet for tomorrow. So please sign off now. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.
Where's the mic at? How do you get out of this? Dr. Burns, I don't know where to go.
There's an X up in the right. Hit the X up in the right. Yeah, the X. Did you? Bye. Okay, Megan, we're done. We're finished on the Google Meet. Can you sign off, please? Megan, can you sign off the Google Meet, please? Megan.
Oh, sorry. I was in the bathroom.
Can you sign off, please?
Well, it's almost the end of our talent show this year. On behalf of myself and all the faculty, I'd like to say a great big thank you once again to Dr. Donna Burns for starting this off all those years ago and again organizing it every single year up to and including this year. Thank you, Dr. Burns, for having a great idea for our school among the many ideas you've had through the years. The Faculty Staff Talent Show is by far one of the things that students and staff remember. I'd also like to thank all the staff that participated, both present and past staff that were featured in the talent show that we've had today. We're going to close things out with one last flashback to 2006, where I believe the term for this talent is interpretive sign language. Back in 2004, a indie film called Napoleon Dynamite hit the scene, and even though this was 2 years later when this talent show would occur, Napoleon Dynamite and all of his friends were still very fresh in all of our minds. And so this final sketch for this year's talent show features characters from Napoleon Dynamite. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.
There's a new student, and they are running for student council president. That student's name? Pedro. And to get your votes, the Happy Hands Club is in town.